guys. So we're back again, Jude, and we're looking at the death of romance.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I'm too old school for that. What do you mean you're too old school?
Yeah, I am old school for that.
Really,
Yeah.
I guess for you, I think it's different when you're not in the dating. I guess you're not in the dating market. So I don't know. Perhaps you don't experience these things. But I mean, I don't know how old are your kids at the moment? Because I wonder if they've experienced this death of romance.
No, they're not there yet. They shouldn't be even thinking about that. Like,
they're teenagers. They're like 16, 17?
There's two teenagers.
Two teenagers. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, they're
okay.
probably experiencing this, you know.
Yeah.
Because when I was that age, I had an interest, but she didn't know I had an interest in her.
Fair.
I was always running my mouth behind.
Yeah.
When the person appeared, I was just checking out. So, yeah.
Okay, fair. So in terms of tackling the death of romance, is really, really just more about the shift in relationships and how it seems like, I guess my generation or the younger generation aren't getting partnered up as much as people were in the past. So I think the study was that 50% of millennials at the moment are in like less relationships than they would be.
Millennials from what year to what year?
Millennials are, I believe,
81. I don't know. I'm just
81 to 1996, right? Yeah. That's millennials. Yeah. So I think I'm a millennial. So apparently we are not
So that means it's a problem for your people, not me. Because I'm before that time.
Oh yeah. Because you're before that actually.
Yeah, we're like Methuselahs, you know, we're like dinosaurs. So that I think this discussion is for your people, not me.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think if you are in the dating market, I presume that it would have trickled over into the younger generation.
It also depends if I was dating somebody before the millennial period or if I was dating somebody in the millennials.
Yeah, that's true. So that will also that will trigger that too. But I think it's essentially looking at the reasons why this is happening or trying to get a handle on it. And I know some people have suggested that it's because one, people have high expectations of what they want in their partner. Yeah,
somebody was saying recently when they were kids, a digestive cookie would do them, but these teenagers today, they want to eat sushi, they want to eat cow or something. So maybe. You know what? Speaking about that,
we're
low maintenance, now they're high maintenance. That can kill it.
But you know what? Yeah, I don't. To be fair, here's the thing. I don't think having high expectations impacts, in my opinion, right, relationships. I just think that there are people out there who accept loads of different things. So if a baby is saying, the person that I want to be with needs to be in this particular type of career, they need to be educated to this level, they need to have this, they need to have that, they need to have that, that's fine and that's okay for you to have your expectations. Just essentially in my mind, if I don't meet those expectations, I'm not going to pursue you. Because I'm like, okay, from what she wants, I don't match that. So I would just go and look for somebody that matches my expectations.
This rings a bell with that dude who died the other time. I've seen memes where ladies were describing the sort of man they wanted, and guys have responded, "You've just described Jesus Christ." Sorry, you ain't gonna get Jesus Christ. There's nobody out there like that. So you're talking about where someone has said, "This is what I want, this level of education." Yeah. Now, forgotten that dude's name. The question he asked was, what do you bring to the table? If you want that sort of person, 6-figure sum salary they earn, what do you earn? Do you go to the same places where those people would go? So if, for example, I want to date somebody and I'm saying they need to have a Harvard University, Ivy League degree, they need to be working in Silicon Valley, don't expect to walk in Walmart and be expecting that person to come. If you're saying you want to date somebody who's 6 foot, don't expect to be short and thinking the 6-foot guy or the 6-foot woman will come to you. You see where I'm coming from?
I understand where you're coming from, but on the flip side, right, I think we say this and we forget that in a lot of instances, even when you speak to, especially when you speak to men and you talk to them about, like the type of woman that they want, or they'll turn around and say, I don't care if you have education, if you have a degree, as long as you're fine.
Some of them are just talking because they're in front of you.
No. But
listen to them at the back.
Some of them do have. Some of them do have like superficial standards of the type of partner that they want, and that's okay. I always tell people this: by all means, have your list. right? But I think sometimes by having your list, you also have to consider that, okay, can I essentially, can I provide for myself what I'm expecting somebody else to?
Oh,
because
deep.
because that's something that I tell myself. But if I can do this for myself,
That's
right?
really deep.
I don't understand why you would expect me to accept less.
That's deep. See, I'm up for you having high expectations, or the guys or women having high expectations
Yeah.
out there. But I'm also for realism. We gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
Because some of the things we're describing, the angels, they don't exist in this realm. So, hey. And I also believe if you relationships and romance happens at uni, secondary school, then uni.
Yeah.
So people find it there as well.
Yeah,
if
they
you've
do.
been to the same secondary school,
Yeah.
and you've been to the same universities, you can easily find that. I'm not saying because your expectations are the same, but because you would over time have built relationship. You spend 3 years together at uni, or 4 years.
Depending on what,
You go to same
sometimes
classes,
5.
and all, it will happen.
Yeah.
Naturally, it will happen, and you build like that. But if you didn't go to the same uni and you were from a different background, it's going to be quite difficult for you to come together except by mutual connections. That's why I suggested going to places where those sort of people would be that you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah, no.
if I describe the sort of woman I want, and friends were saying those sort of women do exist, but this is where they hang out, I need to then start hanging out there. You know, if they shop at Waitrose, I need to start shopping at Waitrose. Leave my Iceland alone, because the Iceland women might be those who are
I mean, that is valid.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you gotta be realistic.
Yeah. Because I think it was my friend and I were having this conversation. We were like, okay, we need to stop going to certain establishments, right? Or going to certain places because we say we want to be partnered up, but the places that you're going to, I don't want to mention any establishments, but let's say you're going to certain places, all the men there are fraud boys.
Yeah, you're absolutely
And
valid.
I have no interest.
And it's interesting that's coming from
being in a
you as a
relationship
woman, because
with somebody who does that for a living.
Exactly.
So I remember we had this conversation like, oh yeah, we need to start going to establishments where they don't frequent. Like, let's go to networking events. Let's go to, because then the likelihood of you then mingling with these type of people reduces, purely because that's not the type of spaces that they hang out
And you
in.
could also go to establishments like where you didn't expect fraud boys to be, they'll be there still.
Sometimes too, there. That's the thing.
Yeah, so, but why that's a valid point, but it does happen the other way.
Yeah. You can
Guys would say, you can marry a woman you find at a club because you leave them at the club, but it's not 100% valid, but you do get where they're coming from. It's almost similar to what you said.
Yeah.
This is not the first time I've heard what you said. I've heard from a lady saying, you just know that they're not spending their money. I don't want those sort of dudes. I'm like, hearing that come from a woman, I'm like, wow, I would think they would jump at them because they're buying champagne bottles, they're buying Belvedere vodka and some serious bottle of whiskey, you know? So
but
some women are not really,
sustainable. And the women that are in it would tell you that.
So it depends on what you want.
Yeah, what you want out of life.
Like, and it's
because if
valid.
you're young, I understand this. Like if you're in your early 20s and you just want to want to live life, you better go with the front boys. That's where the bottles will be popping. I saw a TikTok, right? And the girl was like, as a young woman who's in her, she was like, I'm going out with the Ford boys because I don't want to go out with a 9 to 5 because the bottles are not coming out, and that's a fact.
So that's fine because it's true.
Yeah, so
the bottles won't come out if you're doing a 9 to 5, man. If the bottles come out, you'll be feeling the pinch for the next 6 months. That's fact. And that would be so at that moment you would have had your romance, the bottles came out, but 6 months later you're still reeling from that, struggling from that.
Yeah.
That romance is gonna die very quick. There's this American star, I think the TikTok video came up and he said they were asking him how he knew this woman he's married to was his wife, and he said, we're doing a drive-through McDonald's or one of those eateries where you do drive-through, and she screamed out what she wanted. It was some burger, and before he could even say, he said, that's when I knew that's my wife. So you see what he was trying. These are rich people.
Yeah.
But she's not. How do you say? She's not masking.
Of course, it's about
her nature.
She's being herself. Yeah.
We'll be at the clubs, man. I've said it before so many times. Dudes are wearing fat wallets behind their back pocket, so you see something is swollen, or they're ordering bottles, getting people to shout out their names.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like that. It's just bottles came. Now they're doing all the shout out your names. You know, you want to bam with the big boys. That's the song that cost all of that. The hype men.
They will definitely hype you.
And the ladies who come to the clubs.
Dorime.
The Dorime song. And the ladies would come and they're scantily dressed.
Yeah.
I said it before that that's the hunting. You want me to see skin. I want you to see that I'm loaded. That's why I'm buying bottles upon bottles, because that's what would draw you. Like I've said before, my milkshake bring all the guests to the yard. It's simple. And that girl was shaking the big boobs. And that's exactly what would draw the sort of people that it would draw. Anyway, some people will ignore it.
Yeah.
But if you're going back to the question, death of romance, but I would say TV killed that. We were happy with Netflix and chill. Yeah,
but you know
that's a form of romance.
But you know what's interesting though?
Yeah.
We say that, and then also like on the entertainment space, there's definitely an uprise of shows which depict like couples or people looking for love.
It doesn't depict the reality. It depicts superficial life.
But they are looking for love. Love is Blind, Love Island. I mean, there's so many I can't even think of.
But you know
now.
that is TV though.
Yeah, of course.
So what is TV?
Here's the thing, right?
It can be real. It is fake because they're on the camera. They do edit it. We're on this TV now. It'll be edited.
True.
Some parts that don't suit the producers, they'll edit it.
True.
Some parts that the producer think they'll sack Jude tomorrow for that. He's gonna edit it. So
Wow.
otherwise I'll have to call my lawyer.
No.
So those shows, they edit it.
They are edited.
And it's for your what? Entertainment.
But
then you then mirror your life after that, then
But here's the thing, right? The fact that we are so invested in watching these shows
that something is
shows
missing.
that something is definitely missing.
Yeah.
So although perhaps, maybe it's because there's an absence of romance that we're so obsessed perhaps. And also dating apps.
No, it's not that. It's
Like
also,
there's so many different
it's
things
also
that
about
I think
the
are going
idea
on
that we
and
always
happening.
want people to guide us.
Explain that.
So decisions that we need to take in our lives, that's how humans are. We always, when we're kids, our parents take decisions on our behalf.
Yeah.
When we're at workplaces, we still seek advice of our bosses on the next step. So love matters as well. We talk to friends.
True.
I met this Chico. She could come see us tomorrow. So the reason for that is for them to check her out.
Yeah.
Oh, but she's good. She's nice. Oh,
Yeah.
she's nice. They've only met her for a couple of hours and they're looking at shape and everything.
Of course, yeah.
Or at demeanor. And it's the same thing girls do. This is my guy.
True.
Check him out.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, he's a nice catch. So we leave those vital decision making
And they might say, no, he's
like
not.
to other people.
Yeah.
And when we get past that stage, we bring the person to the yard.
Okay.
For your mom and your dad, if they were there, to check as well. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So vital decisions will be left, but we don't do through those mechanisms anymore. So we leave them to TV to make those decisions for us.
I can understand where you're going with that.
So that's another thing.
I can definitely understand. But I think quite recently, I don't know if, I think Love is Blind has literally been trending on the internet. I haven't been watching it, don't know what's happening. But people have been so invested in it because of like the couples getting married or agreeing to get married and doing that.
Yeah.
So I think there is an element, people are still searching for romance. But I think what has happened, and this is something that I'm not going to stop saying, is that I don't think our generation are any less likely. Like, it's not that we've stopped looking for romance or that we don't aspire to be married. I think that aspiration is still there, I think anyway, for most people. But now there's also an acceptance of different sorts of relationships.
I think the issue for me is these are sacred institutions. You're looking for love, you're looking for romance, you're looking for sex, you're looking for marriage. These are things that were previously protected. It's your private sphere.
Yeah.
It's your private space.
Space, yeah.
But what we've done is, instead of making it private, we made it public.
You've made it public.
That's why we look out to those shows. That's why we invested in them. They used to be private. What happened between you as adults or as lovers was private. Only a few privileged circle would know about it. Your very, very close circle.
Yeah.
And it will be like that for a long time before you bring them up. But we've turned what was private into a public thing. We've commodified it.
Definitely commodified
and
it.
TV has done that for us. So there's no value in us really investing time in those things, in the pursuit of romance or love or sex or even marriage. There's no time. It's a word that we're also fast paced, short. We have short termism.
Yeah.
So why do we need to
Microwave
do that when we
society.
have that person to match me to that person? Why? Tell me, the rise of dating apps when it started, it was geared towards people who were busy.
Yeah.
The adverts were like, you were busy as a woman, you came home, you were tired.
Yeah.
You were busy as a guy, came home, you're tired, and you earn 6-figure salary or three-figure salary or some big money. Let us help you match. Put all the things you want in a guy. You put everything you want in a woman. And he said, ding, we matched.
Yeah.
And you came out, sometimes you did, sometimes you didn't.
Sometimes you didn't. Yeah.
So again, it was superficial because sometimes you just ended up in sales and be like, nah, it didn't work. It was different from what you really pursued by yourself. That's why I said romance and love and all of that actually, if it started from when you were in school, is very good. Or workplaces.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
Nah.
Because you
I'm
spend time
not one
together.
for workplaces. Do not, I say this again, do not have romantic.
You could find love in workplaces if you're
Okay.
singles, right? You could find love.
Yeah, no, I'm not one for that.
So would you prefer you find love in workplace or you let the dating app do it for you?
Definitely not workplace.
So you prefer the dating app?
I think
or you
from,
let Love Island
okay,
do
and
it?
no,
Is
no,
it
no,
Love
no,
Island,
no.
is it?
Let me
To do it for you or something? I don't
from
know.
my personal perspective.
Yeah.
I think I like having that clear demarcation between my work life.
Oh no, what I
And
mean
my
work, I
love
don't mean
life.
you find it and you still remain there. It's possible. That's where
Well, you
meet
find
your,
it there, then-
that's where you meet your
but then
mister.
that means
or
that-
that's where you meet your missus and you move
someone
on from
has to
there.
leave.
So, okay, you're talking about the work policies on that.
Yeah.
That's different. You'll get to that when you're married. I'm saying you can find your Mr. Right there if that exists, or your Mrs. Right
I know,
in
okay,
those
yeah,
settings.
you can, I guess
Because-
so.
Yeah.
I-
Or
I
churches.
think- do you
you
know
go to
what?
church, people find their Mr. Right and Mrs. Right
know
in
what?
churches.
I'm gonna say this, and this might be a bit controversial. I have no interest. I have no interest in finding my man in church.
No, I get you. It's your personal opinion, but I'm saying
Yes.
it could
Just
happen.
saying,
It could
FYI.
happen, right?
Yeah.
It could happen. There's
Yeah, it could.
sisters there, brothers there, and they've been
I mean, I'm sure people do, but
they've been together in that church for years, and then they kind of know each other's character
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
behavior, and like I
well,
like the sister.
they don't know each other's character. They know the character that they portray at
portray.
church.
But it goes. It's the same everywhere.
Of
because
course.
we show different faces
because
at different
everybody
times.
has a different mask and a
If I
different
met you on the dating app and I was gonna come see you, I will put on my best.
But I think in the
My
beginning,
best.
I think in the beginning stages,
So that when you see me call me, you will know.
but in the beginning stages of dating, I think
Yeah.
everybody does that.
It's life. It's
Like,
natural.
it's life. You put forward like your best foot.
Yeah.
And then slowly. But this is why, you know what? I have a theory that if you're true to your authentic self from when the relationship starts, then you don't need
I don't think it's true to your authentic self.
No, because
we don't know ourselves though. I think it's just human nature.
come on, how
it's
do you?
human nature.
No, I don't think.
The face you're putting
no.
on TV now is different from the face you put on when you go outside. It's a different face you put on when you meet with your parents. It's a different face when you're with your friends. It's
But
a different
do you
face
know
at
what?
work. At church, you put on a different demeanor. It's just normal. It's life. It's normal.
See, here's the thing, right?
There's science to prove that as well.
I understand you. I say this performing in when you're in different environments because you have to. I mean, the work nana definitely cannot be the nana that's out with her friends in the club. And that I completely agree with.
So it's the same thing in the church. So in the church, you're expected to behave in certain ways.
course, but
so that's
for
why I
me-
will pretend.
Yeah,
When
for
we come
me-
out of that, you and me
But
can click.
I say this all the time. Like for me, in my relationships, be it when I say relationships, I don't think relationships have to be just romantic relationships, right? I want to be myself. I do not want to put up an act in those relationships.
I don't think you
do
know
not
when you
want
put
to-
up an act, though. I don't think one does know when they put up an act.
Yes, you do.
No, not all
Yes,
the
you
time.
do.
No.
I think I do. I know exactly.
Let somebody else watch you. So, you've heard about the Johari window?
Yeah,
The things
but
we know about ourselves, the things we think we know.
But I
And
know.
the things other people
but
know.
you know what?
Let other people point it
I
out.
feel like I know when I'm putting up.
Ask your friends, to be honest with you.
Oh no! They tell me all the time. They
Tell you
do.
what?
They do because
Ask your parents to tell you something else.
No.
Ask your work colleagues to tell you what to say.
no. Because but I know when I'm putting up an act. I know when in my mind that you're getting to know somebody and I'm not comfortable, so I hesitate and I don't do certain things. Like my behavior changes as I get comfortable, and that's just human nature.
If you're aware of all of those things, then that's
So the
fine.
thing, I think that once you're aware of that and you know how you are, I think you're then better able to navigate your dating life and your romantic relationships better.
So what is romance? What makes a relationship have romance, and what is that?
It depends on what your
going
definition
out?
of romance is, actually.
Yeah, so
Because people have different definitions of what romance
Exactly.
is. Because people like different things. So you literally have to figure out what that person likes.
does it have like a span, a lifespan? Like,
I don't think so.
is it?
I think romance should feature in all your relationships, actually.
So
I don't think it's
There's no
exclusive.
1 year, 2 years thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't even think it's exclusive to, let me put it, like sexual relationship. Because when you think of romance, that's how people automatically think about that. And I'm like, yeah, you should be romancing your friends. Because these are all relationships. Like, I say this, and sometimes I think the older I get as well, the more I start to understand certain things. Because I know that I do certain things for my friends because I know that makes them happy. That's a form of romance.
Okay, interesting.
I might not have any interest in doing something, but because I know that this makes this person happy, I'll do it. And quite recently, I remember I was
To your detriment?
I was on Twitter, like, not to my detriment, but there's certain things that I literally have no interest in doing. But if I know that somebody enjoys doing it, I'm like, oh yeah, we can do that together. And quite recently, I think I was on Twitter and I saw this video about petite romance, which I thought was such a fantastic idea. I'm about to explain what petite romance is.
Yeah, please do.
So petite romance is like the little everyday things that you do for your partner or for your friends, which they're not like grand gestures, but they're the little things that you do because you know them and you know that they will appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it's like knowing that perhaps if every morning that your partner wakes up, they like to drink like, I don't know, a cup of coffee, and before they wake up, you have a cup of coffee next to their
You see the problem with that? Everybody does that already. Why do I need to give it a name? Petite romance, somebody's making money of it.
But
they do it already.
But here's the thing, though.
Things.
But this is the
it's
thing.
already
But
dead.
it's
What they
about-
give you an impression that it's dead. Because
Do you know what? Yeah, Jude is like, it's already there, but you'd be surprised,
there.
right? But here's the thing: you're saying that because you do
paying the
it.
bills, did they say paying the bills? Did they say anything like
Paying
that?
the bills, not
Making
petite
sure there's
romance.
a roof, okay.
I beg you. What's
That's
petite
important.
romance about you
when you
paying
start
the
sleeping
bills?
outside as homeless, then you know whether it's making coffee, the petite romance you want, me lifting you like flour. If it's that one you want to,
Like for me, okay, let's
or you
say
want a
for
roof
me,
over your
okay,
head,
let me
you
even
will take- you
talk
will define
about
romance, so-
what I would say my petite romance is, right?
Okay.
Speaking from my personal experience, as somebody who acts of service, like anybody that goes out their way to make my life easier, friggin' love you.
A roof over your head, they pay your bills.
No, I don't want that. But for me, I'm like that. And sometimes it's the most mundane things, the most.
I get it.
tiny
People
things.
do that.
And it's like, oh my God, you actually considered me, and you're intentional. Intentional.
Yeah, I
about
get
this.
that. I'm just-
And Jude, you're saying this because perhaps that is your nature, but not everybody is like that.
So they would have started with doing that and they stopped somewhere.
Exactly, because I always say this. Do you know what a lot of people do? They will put forward their best foot, everything to get you, and once they get you, they just fall back. I don't want that. So if it's at your core, then it's not a chore when you do it, and it's a part of you. And I think that's what's important.
Yeah, there are some people who are natural at those things.
Who
I
naturally,
believe.
it's like
And it
it's
just comes
natural.
as a second nature to
Exactly,
them.
and you don't think about it. So for me, I'm always like, that's what I want. I don't want somebody who just puts up this act, right, just to get you. And once they have you, it's like, that stage is over. You have to do this for yourself now. Because then there's a shift and a change in the relationship. And then it's like, oh, okay, so what? And a lot of, I think quite recently where there's been a lot of like married couples coming out and talking about their relationship, they've all mentioned that, oh, we used to do this when we used to do that. Why don't we do that anymore? Why don't we do this anymore?
Life crept in, right?
Yeah. And I think sometimes that's sad. Because I feel like you should be able to do the things that you liked, or that basically like got you guys, that ignited your relationship. Why would you not want to keep that fire burning? Because I say this, like relationships are conscious effort, regardless of whether it's romantic or not. It's you making that conscious decision, and it's intentional. So for me, I'm like, I need to make sure that if I'm there, I'm making these conscious and intentional decisions to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. At the point where I am no longer making conscious and intentional decisions, I am saying that perhaps in the back of my mind or subconsciously, I don't value this or I don't want this anymore.
Interesting.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, I feel like you don't agree, but
No,
you do. Are you?
You learn about new things and you take them in.
And okay.
Of course. I'm teasing you so that I can hear more from what you're saying for the benefit of people who are listening as well. You know, I'm married. You're not yet, right?
No.
So we see things from different perspectives. Like you described yourself as a millennial. I said I was before that time.
Yeah.
Different perspective again.
Of course, yeah.
And it depends on who you're dating as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You could be dating from your age and this is not things that bother them.
Yeah.
You could be dating from the millennial and these are things that bother them. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And then you flow. And also, I believe that some people, it is natural to them, comes as a second nature to them.
Yeah, definitely.
But what
definitely.
works for A doesn't work for B. And
of course.
Again, perspective matters. So some married couples who come out, they don't do those things no more.
No.
And somebody like that, petite, wherever, reminds them, or they read a book and it does remind them. Like I remember 50 Shades of Grey, some women said it reminded them a lot. I don't know. I never read that book.
You never read that book? No. I did. It wasn't that great, actually.
So different things work for different people.
But
and it could just be at home watching movies that you probably watch 2 movies every weekend on Netflix and you no longer do that.
Yeah.
It's also about finding out why you no longer do those things if you did them before. But it's not letting an outside party do it, tell you that's what you should be doing. Then it's fake already.
Yeah, it is fake.
If it's the third person reminding you, you need to be asking yourself questions. Is it the fact that the woman or the man is going to night shift? No, that's why you don't have time anymore.
Of course, that's also a factor. But
when people come out and make these statements, they don't tell you the background of what is happening.
But I think
it's good to make headline statements.
I think you have to assess like your situation. But then I also say that with everything that you plan for, if you make it a priority that spending time with your partner is a priority, and you guys once again have to be intentional, set aside specifically time to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It will work in the same way that you can sit
there. Are you
there.
factoring children into this?
Of course.
You sure?
Yes, because like I said, you will plan. So you're telling me if you can plan and execute, I don't know, of course everybody's situation is different, but I think you can make that conscious effort to plan and decide that, okay, just whether it's once a month or once every 2 months, once every 3 months, me and my partner is going to spend time together and we're going to spend, 3 hours, 4 hours doing this without the kids being available, just so that we can enjoy each other's company. Why is that cumbersome and not workable?
It is workable.
Because you somehow, I always say this, you somehow are able to maneuver your time so that you can do things that you want to do. Whether it's to go to work, to go to the gym, to do this, to do that. Why can't you find time to spend time with each other?
It could be because of costs involved as well.
But
so if you had young children, you're looking at childminder. You're looking at all of that. And it's not just because you have money to pay for it. There's also the anxiety that comes with that. We're leaving our kids with total strangers, whether they have DBS clearance or not. There's all of that, and people do put all of that into consideration. Some people have extended family members that help.
Yeah.
And it depends on your location. If you were in places like Nigeria where you have aunties and uncles, you could just bounce.
Yeah. I think it's
difficult also.
It's easier for some.
So people need to recognize
that's why I said that you have to actively plan for it.
Yeah.
Because if you actively plan for something, then you know that this is what I want to do. In the same way that you actively plan for everything else in your life. I don't understand why people make it seem like actively planning to spend time with your partner is cumbersome.
Yeah, it could be.
Because for everything else, you actively sit there, and even if you find it cumbersome, you find ways around.
But it also speaks to the selfishness of the being of you taking care of yourself.
Yeah,
it's easier to do that than to plan for
this is exactly
a second person. So I understand that it's there. So when people talk about all of this, they need to talk about all of that. Like when people just throw around and say communication is the key in relationship, I'm like, it's so difficult to talk to people you're with.
It is.
And I say, can you explain further? They don't know how. They say, just talk. Talk about what? We're talking about bills. That's communication, right? You say, just talk.
Wow.
Yeah. We're talking about.
Jude, you've been married for far too long. Look at your circumstances, weigh it up, and then do what works best for your situation.
And what is romance for you? So
exactly, people have different. Yeah, for
person.
some people, I mean, romance is you putting money into their accounts.
Exactly.
For some people, romance is buying flowers. And for others, you buy flowers and they're like, what do you want to do with this flower?
Exactly. So you were talking about culture where people come from different places.
So you kind of also have to factor that in as well. That's also very, 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 very,
like you
very
said,
important.
for some is reel the bottles in.
Yeah.
Bottles upon bottles.
Yeah, popping.
Different folks. Different things work for different people.
Different strokes for different folks. Yeah. Okay. And that's what we have.
We've whipped your romance.
Yes, we really have.
I don't think we've even scraped the surface anyway because I still don't know what romance is.
Jude wants a definition of romance.
Yeah. Is there a dictionary definition?
I mean, there can be if you want to. But I think you should define romance for yourself. I don't think.
But let's see what the dictionary says about
Okay,
that.
Let's see. Like, are you going to read it out?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Read it out. Let's see what the dictionary says.
What does the dictionary say about romance?
A feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love. A quality or feeling of mystery, excitement, and remoteness from everyday life. I don't even know what I mean. Really, I don't know what that means.
Dude?
What is considered a romance? No, that's talking about movies now.
See?
Examples of romance.
Because
You say, buy some flowers, buy chocolates, go on a long walk, make a meal for them, declare tonight a film night. It's everything I've been talking about.
Yeah.
Write them a heartfelt letter, take them dancing. What if you have two left legs and you can't dance?
Then you find something else.
Okay, what romance means
That's
to a
why
woman?
I say romance is you have to define what romance is
So for
yourself.
women, it says their words and behaviors that represent that they are loved, cherished, valued, respected, and desired. I think we've touched on that.
Yeah.
And somebody asked, how can I romance my wife? Leave our love letters randomly, surprise her with flowers again, joke together, plan a sweet surprise picnic, practice meditation, yoga. Come on, man, that's too far-fetched.
I mean, if your partner enjoys meditation and yoga, it's not.
Then this one says a romance is a relationship between two people who are in love with each other but who are not married to each other.
So what, does romance cease?
I don't know, that's the definition I found there.
Once you're married?
This is Google though.
No.
How do you show romance to a man? Interesting. So be thoughtful, express yourself, give gifts, know your partner's love language, listen attentively. Remember I was talking about communication?
Yeah, communication.
You're telling me the gas is finished though.
Yeah.
That's not listening attentively. Make time for them, show up physical affection, and surprise them.
See?
I don't know. Maybe buy them a Ferrari or Tesla.
Or is that what you want?
I've exhausted the definition.
Jude wants a Tesla or a Ferrari.
I've exhausted the definition. There's no one definition like you said.
Oh no, there isn't. And
so it could just be buying flowers.
Yeah, which is why I say, like, you have to define what romance is.
So it could be just understanding.
So it's about you understanding the person that you're with and knowing what they consider as romance and doing that. So for me, that's what romance is. And I think that's the beauty of a relationship. It's me taking the time to get to know your likes and dislikes.
That's very true. That's key.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I've learned something today.
You're welcome.
We're the old school. We're not millennials.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're dinosaurs. So not our fault.